Hello traders and welcome back to my YouTube channel IPDATrader. Now in today's video we're going to be having a little bit of a discussion around trading psychology. I'm going to be discussing some important lessons that I've learned over the years trading the markets, which I believe should be very beneficial for you guys, the YouTube audience. So we're just simply going to be discussing some ideas, talking about some stuff, and providing some value and information, right? It's not going to be anything crazy, not going to be teaching you guys anything new. I'm just trying to make sure your psychology is in the right place when actually trying to trade the financial markets. Because once again, trading the financial markets is a very difficult task to do. It requires you to be focused. It requires you to understand what you're doing. And most importantly, your psychology should always be in the right place if you're actually going to be taking some risk, especially using life funds, right? So, this video will probably be rather short. And yeah, with all that being said, guys, if this sounds like something you want to learn today, right, we're going to be discussing important lessons that I've learned throughout the years, then make sure you stick to the entire video because once again, we're trying here to provide information, right? So, without out of the way, let's actually get started with today's video. So guys, as we said before, we're going to discuss some ideas around the topic of trading psychology, important lessons, things of that nature, right? So we're now in a gold chart, which is honestly very crazy to see, but if you've been paying attention to the current fundamentals events, then the continuous bullish run on gold does make perfect sense. Now we're sort of approaching previous highs over here. So we're at a very interesting price point. Once again, that's not the topic for the day. We're just simply going to be moving up so I can have some space to work with. And we're going to be discussing some stuff. So guys, as we said before, important trading lessons, tips, whatever you want to call them, right? Just essentially information that I've learned throughout the years that unfortunately cannot be taught because once again, there are certain things in the market that you just can learn by doing and experiencing, right? It's very important. So even though you may have the best educator with you, you may have a super good mentor, there are certain things in the market that you have to experience, right? So important lessons. And once again, this is subjective to me. This is what I find relevant and important. And this is what helps me get my psychology right when actually trading the market, right? These are the things that I keep in mind every time I sit in front of my chair, in front of my computer, and actually look to try and trade the markets, right? So, um, the very first thing, guys, it's very important, is that you get paid to wait, right? This is a very important topic for you to keep in mind. And I see many traders who they open the charts, they see candles moving up and down, especially um and now, right, where we have those current fundamentals, there's plenty of volume and volatility in the markets. And what you have to understand is that you get paid to wait, right? There's no point in opening the charts and instantly looking to take a trade here, take a trade there, execute here, execute there. It's very damaging to your account, right? You have to be able to wait for your edge to appear, and quite frankly, there's days where your edge will not appear, and that's absolutely fine. There's always a new day ahead of you. That's what you have to understand. The markets ain't going anywhere anytime soon, right? You get paid to wait. That means that you have to wait for the markets to actually show and print something that you can recognize and something that you're comfortable in executing on, right? So you get paid to wait for the market to print something you're comfortable with and you can recognize, right? This is a very important fact that people do not focus enough on, right? You don't want to be the type of trader that's rushing into trades, that's sort of trying to get money out of the market every single day. No, just wait for the market to show you what it wants to do. and then you can execute, right? So another key criteria, which is actually attached to this one over here, is the following, right? It is better to miss an opportunity than FOMOing into that, right? No FOMO, let's say, right? You don't want to be, this is sort of the same thing, but I want you to separate in 2 points because this is actually very important in a way. To not have FOMO, please. You have to understand that just the chance you have to actually execute on the market is a blessing. You need to be appreciated of that, right? You don't want to be sort of feeling like you're missing out on certain trades and certain moves. And one thing that I tell my students in the mentorship, which is actually a very good tip in my opinion, is every time you feel that you have FOMO, you want to trade, the market's moving, you're not in it. Well, just go to a higher time frame, right? As an example, go to a daily time frame, zoom out quite a bit, and really look at the moves you may have just missed, right? You look at this and you look at the grand scheme of things, and it's not a big deal if you missed out on a 40 pip move, right? You look at candles, candles are huge. There will always be opportunity. You don't need to feel like you're missing out on certain ideas, right? You just have to understand that, hey, the market will continue to do the same thing tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, the next week, the next month, the next year. Understanding the fact that tomorrow is a new day is such a crucial thing in trading, right? And it's very, very important that you get used to understanding that missing a trade is part of what you do. It's part of your trading. Not every day is a winning day. Not every day is a trading day. Sometimes taking no trades is a great decision. It shows discipline, right? So please, sorry, I didn't want to remove that. Please appreciate that. Every time you miss a trade, get in the habit of just zooming out of the charts for a bit, right? Maybe go into, once again, the daily time frame, zoom out and tell yourself, hey, what did I really just miss? And maybe you will see that all you missed is just a wick to the downside on a daily candle. It's not a big deal, guys. These candles will continue to print, and you can see how massive these candles can sometimes be, right? So please be comfortable with the idea that you will miss trades. It's part of what we do. It's part of trading, and understand that no trade as a result in a given trading day, right? No trade is a great result. It shows discipline, right? It's much better to take no trade than rush into a trade, take a losing trade, and now you're stressed. You want to make that back. It's not good, right? Focus on these things over here. They will help you in the long run, right? I know in the short term you want to be in the trades, you want to see those profits, but just understand that trading is a long-term game and focus on your long-term vision, right? Next thing we must understand as traders, journaling, right? Very important. Journaling is a must. Now, whether you journal, I don't know, right? You have plenty of things you can journal, but what you really have, what it really comes down to is the following, right? You have to journal what you think is relevant and will help you remind yourself what you should do next time and what you should not be doing next time, right? Journal, journal what you think is relevant for you. Journal what will help you remember what to do again. Journal what you should not be doing again, right? Those are very key ideas when it comes to journaling. Once again, in the mentorship, I teach a specific way of actually going about journaling, but for the most part, you're free to journal whatever you think is important for you as a trader. Remember, guys, trading is individual, right? You can work with somebody else and they can give you sort of a roadmap. Hey, this is how we do things. This is what you should be paying attention to. But at the end of the day, you are the one in charge to execute the buy, to execute the sell, to journal this, to journal that, to track this information, to track the other one, right? You're essentially the CEO of your own company when you're trading, and your capital is your trading amount, right? What you have in your trading account. So if there's something you want to take away from this video, let it be this, right? You have to journal. Now, whether you want to journal that when I have a red t-shirt on, I trade gold. If I don't have a red t-shirt on, I don't trade gold. I don't care. Journal whatever you think is good for you, whatever will help you remember what to do again next time, whatever you should no longer be doing, right? Let's say, as an example, you rush into a trade and your plan tells you that you don't trade until the New York opens, right? And now you've taken a position 30 minutes before that and you've gotten stopped out. Well, then you go ahead, you open your journal and you say to yourself, hey, trading before my actual trading time is not good. I will no longer be doing that again. And you carry that information into the next day. And that's how you really grow as a trader. That's how you really sort of progress in the markets, right? Next thing that we have to understand is the following, right? Focus on correct decisions, not money. This is such a crucial thing, guys. If you actually need money, you have to get a job, right? You should not be coming into trading thinking that you're going to be this next superstar trading and by the end of the year you will have made a million. There's no point in thinking that way. You should be enjoying the process because once again, trading is a process and your focus should be on making correct decisions, right? Whether that correct decision means that in that particular day you are taking a loss, that is fine. You still took the correct decision, right? The outcome is irrelevant in terms of your decision making process, right? If your plan says that you trade gold, once again at New York Open, and you look for let's say 15-minute structure to shift bullish and a 60% retracement, right? Let's say that's your plan, then that's what you do, right? And if price sort of, let's say this is your 15-minute structure, price shifts bullish, you wait for that 60% retracement over here, maybe you look at a POI at this point and you take a buy over here because, hey, that's what your plan tells you. And you take that and you lose, it's still a correct decision. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means that, hey, your plan did not work today. Maybe you want to be going over that trade, making sure everything line up. If it did and you lost, well, that's not a big deal. You still made the correct decision, which is so much important than actually having the short-term pleasure of making the money, right? You have to focus on that. You have to get out of the mentality that every day is going to be an amazing, profitable day, and you just have to get in the mentality of thinking, how am I going to be making correct decisions today? And truthfully, if you are not feeling like you are at a optimal level to perform, then you might skip that day, you might use lower risk, you might have to do whatever you need to do at that point. But it is so important that you focus on just making correct decisions, right? Because if you make, and let me actually write this over here, right? Because this is what will happen. If you make correct decisions the majority of the times, you will win the majority of the time, right? Um, so that's essentially a little bit of what I wanted to discuss today. I believe that this has great information. If you actually apply these ideas the next time you sit in front of the charts, you will feel so much better about yourself. It is going to be an enjoyable process to actually sit in your computer, look at these candles print, and actually try and execute on that, right? So please understand these key ideas very well. They're very relevant. They will help you as you progress in your journey. And please, if you are in need of money, do not come into the markets thinking that trading is going to be solving that for you. It's not, and it's just hurting you. It's just delaying your process. So get a job, trade as a hobby or as a as a part-time job, whatever it needs to do, and let it slowly but surely turn into something that's more relevant for you, which will eventually allow you to do all those things you want to do, buy all those cars, go on those vacations, whatever you need to do at that point, right? But focus on making correct decisions. Journaling is important. Once again, you're free to journal whatever you think is good for you. Um, Whenever you miss an opportunity, zoom out of the charts and really understand what you've just missed. It's not a big deal, guys. These things will continue to repeat over and over and over and over again, as long as, once again, the majority of people continue to lose. And the majority of people lose not because their technical skills are not there, not because they don't really know what's happening in terms of the candles going up and down. It's because of their psychology. So that's why I wanted to make this video. I believe it is relevant. It's not all about the technicals or fundamentals. The hardest thing in this game, once again, is your psychology and your approach to the markets. So that is very important. Remember that the name of trading, the name of this game is actually capital preservation, right? It's nothing else. Before you focus and trying to make profits, focus on surviving the markets. Right, that's very important. Most people cannot survive the market. If you actually can survive the market, you've been trading for 3 months and you only lost 5%, and that's fine. You're doing great. I mean, you're not winning, but you're not blowing your account. You're essentially on the right path. It's just a matter of fine-tuning where those losses are coming from and making sure you can turn them into wins. But you're not blowing your account. You're doing great, right? So remind yourself of those ideas, right? It's very, very important. Now, with all that being said, guys, I really do hope this video provided you some information. Once again, I tried my best to explain you what I've learned throughout the years. And please, these are things that you will experience as you go through the markets, as you trade this year, you trade the next year. You need to understand that if you don't apply these things, you will eventually have to leave the industry, which is not what you're aiming for, right? Focus on capital preservation first. Whenever you're able to survive the markets, then you can focus on trying to see if you can get some profit out of it, right? If you need money, get a job and do these things and keep these things in mind when you're trying to trade the markets. So with all that being said, guys, thank you very much for listening. You know, if you made it through the entire video, I appreciate you. And yeah, feel free to drop a video suggestion. I will gladly be taking a look into that and try and see what I can do. Once again, I'm very busy nowadays. I'm sort of working on multiple things, so it's quite difficult for me to keep up with the YouTube content, mentorship, my own trading, the Telegram channel. So just bear with me for a little. Should be getting back in track in a bit. So yeah, keep those things in mind. Now, thank you very much for listening, guys. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you actually enjoyed what's being taught over here. And I will see you guys very soon. Take care, guys.